Suns post-game show brought to you by the DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's #1 sportsbook app. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe wherever you get your podcast, and leave us a 5-star review. I'm Lindsay Smith, here with Gerald Bourget and Espo, and we are hanging in the VIP lounge tonight because winners work. That's right. The Phoenix Suns have defeated the Indiana Pacers 117-104. If you've got a Four Peaks beer in front of you, if you've got one in the fridge, go grab one, crack it open, because we are starting a nice long weekend of no Suns basketball, and we get to have a win to launch us into some relaxation or a little more chaos, if you will, for the Super Bowl.
So if winners work, we must be champions after the last 2 days of what we put in. So.
We are. And you know what winners deserve, Espo?
Beer.
What's that?
Beer.
Lots
Specifically
of beer.
Four Peaks beer.
Yes.
And also, if you have not had a chance to try Arizona's #1 wheat ale and Wow Wheat from our friends over at Four Peaks, then head on down to Old Town Boondocks for the Tailgate Time Machine this Saturday, February 11th. That is tomorrow. For everyone here on our YouTube channel to try Four Peaks' newest innovation. It's packed full of Arizona citrus flavor, and it's perfect for light drinking in the desert sun. But you must be 21 years or older to enjoy Four Peaks beer, and we ask that you enjoy it responsibly. All right, let's talk about that Suns W. Gerald, I'm so glad that you were the odd man out in the pregame show with Pacers, and that we did it. We willed them to a win, despite how heavy everything was. Let's start by looking in the box.
What's in the box? What's in the fucking box?
A 117-104 victory is in the motherfucking box, all right?
I loved that.
53 rebounds to 38. The Suns dominated the glass. 54 points in the paint to 40. They dominated the points in the paint, and they got 26 points off of Indiana turnovers, and the Suns only gave up 10 points off their turnovers. This is how you get a 13-point victory in Indiana.
Yeah, it was a really nice kind of bounce back performance on the second night of a back-to-back, which is not easy to do. I know we made a lot of fuss about DA's 2-rebound game last night when they got crushed on the boards. But he bounced back really nicely tonight, and so did the Suns as a team. DA with 11 boards, Suns winning that battle handily, dominating the paint, and capitalizing on the Pacers' misses or mistakes. So this was a really great performance, and it's just kind of building that momentum as we head into this All-Star break and hopefully get Kevin Durant on the court here soon.
Offensive rebounds were huge, too. They had 8 more than the Pacers, and when you get yourself second chance opportunities, even when you only shoot 30% from beyond the arc, that's going to help you win. And when you play decent defense and you keep your opponent to only 28 from beyond the arc, that helps too.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really glad to see how this team rebounded tonight, because I know that was something that even Monty had brought up post game, that, you know, when your opponent out rebounds you in the way that we saw last night, it's kind of hard to win games. And that's just an area that we have put a lot of emphasis on for the Suns team. I think Kevin Durant coming in will help that quite a bit as well. But it's good to see guys like DA obviously bouncing back from an off night last night, but also Torrey Craig. Torrey Craig had 12 rebounds as well. And, you know, Jock Landale had 7. So good to see a full team effort of rebounding. Even Josh Okogie had 6.
Right.
I love Josh Okogie.
I
know, Gerald. I know
well
we give
aware.
you or you give me grief. I like to call, when Josh Okogie has nights like these, I like to call him a knockdown 3-point shooter. He was 5 of 3 from deep tonight.
5 of 3. That would be really impressive.
Sorry.
That is next worldly.
3 of 5.
There we go.
Lindsay's been on fire with her
Listen, it's
numbers
been a
and
long
math
week.
tonight.
He's shooting 5/3 from beyond the arc.
At some point in time this weekend, I will change my contacts so they stop burning my eyes and get some sleep as well. But now is not that time.
Fair.
So you're just going to have to deal.
Okay, that's fair. But no, he is shooting. We should point this out because he's not shooting well on the year. He's never shot above 30% from 3 in a single season of his career. But since the calendar turned to 2023, coming into this game, he was shooting 37%. He just went 3 of 5, so that number is going to go up a little bit after tonight's game. Yeah, so that's impressive. Obviously, lower volume for a guy like that, especially being in and out of the rotation recently, but he and Ish Wainwright, the last 2 games, have really made their case for we still want to be part of this rotation when these new guys come in. Ish is running out of availability on his 2-way contract. The Suns have 2 roster spots, and I'm sure he's heard the rumors about the buyout market and what they might do. So he is definitely trying to make his case to have that 2-way contract converted into a real contract. And Josh Okogie, who's been out of the lineup for the last week or so, back-to-back really nice games for him.
Yeah, he shot 200% from the field. He was 10 of 5. So.
Wow. I see how it is.
He's 5 of 10, which for him, obviously, very good. And sneaky, I think he may put himself into consideration for they got to figure out who the 5th starter is, right?
Right.
You've got 4 locked in, and those are your big 4. But now there's this 5th spot that you got to figure out who's the guy. And a lot of people are like, oh, TJ Warren. Well, I'd much rather have that scoring off the bench because right now that's a big question mark. Where you're going to get scoring off the bench, And I think Josh Okogie could be that guy that they're like, go out there, play the defense you know how to play, and just if you get an easy shot near the hoop, that's your offensive game with this starting unit, and maybe he can thrive there. It would not shock me with the way he's played the last few games if he at least gets that opportunity early on when KD's here.
It's entirely possible. I think you're a little undersized with Okogie in there, but he does defend a size bigger than what he is because he's got that massive wingspan and he's such a good defender with those freaky athletic hops that he's got. So I think he's a possibility. I think it's going to come down to him and Torrey Craig. Because like you said, I think Warren's scoring ability is best utilized in a bench role, and especially as the new guy. Unless you are Kevin Durant, it's hard to come into a new situation and automatically start there. But I do think Okogie would really help with their point of attack defense, filling that same Mikal Bridges type role so that you can hide Chris Paul elsewhere and save him for the offensive end.
I still think eventually it's Bazley. He's going to wind up starting. I just have this feeling because of his size, his wingspan, his ability to block shots, those kind of things. He may find his way in there eventually. By the way, I really love when Gerald's like, I'm not quite sure I buy into what you say. He goes, it's certainly a possibility.
Well,
it's his kind way of saying, politely go fuck
Well,
yourself.
no, because
Gerald's like, I appreciate your opinion, but you're wrong.
I think it's a possibility with Okogie. With Bazley, I don't see it. And I like Bazley. He brings a lot of defense to the table. He's kind of the mystery man that was acquired at the deadline. But I wrote a piece about him today over at gophnx.com if you're interested in learning more about him, kind of diving into his defense and his offense. Defensively, he has a lot to offer. He's very athletic. He's kind of like a big who can hold his own on the perimeter and blocks a lot of shots, both at the rim and on the perimeter. But offensively, he's very much a work in progress. He's kind of a big man who plays like a wing, except his handle is not good enough for that. And he's been a decent standstill shooter this year, but it's on limited volume. And look, like if you are having a hard time carving out a role on the Oklahoma City Thunder, I'd be very surprised if he came in on a title contender and won that starting job.
But how much of him not having a role in OKC is because they've committed to those other young guys that played similar positions as him? And even though, I mean, he was there 4 years, like Presti seems to get bored with you if you're not SGA after you've been there that long. So
I mean, yeah, but he's also only 22, so he's another young guy that he's been productive if you just look at the per game averages, but his minutes have dwindled season by season over the last 3 years because he hasn't been able to be efficient. So they kind of, in OKC, they took a less is more approach with him. Based on what I saw of his film, which, it's not a full season's worth of film, obviously, but I would be very surprised if he won that starting job. I think he has a role as a defense first athletic kind of guy. But he's going to have to kind of know and accept his role here.
There's quite a few variations of who people in the chat think will get that 5th spot in the starting unit, from Bazley to Okogie, or even keeping it Torrey Craig. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people have, I think it's a mixed bag of feelings. And honestly, I think it's worth at least throwing all three of them and maybe even TJ Warren out there throughout the rest of the regular season to see what does work best. I think it would be a disservice if Monty didn't at least experiment a little bit with it.
It is Monty, so yeah, you're probably right. It's just going to be rolling with Torrey Craig, I guess.
I think it'll be Torrey Craig or Josh Okogie. Those are the two front runners in my mind. I do think you should mix it up and experiment. But I do think Baisley is still a work in progress, and especially on a new team, Monty really does not like to throw guys out there until they know their offense and their defensive concept. So that might take a while.
I'm concerned with Torrey Craig being that guy because much like we're exhausted, I feel like that's the point he's at in this season because he's not used to playing as many minutes as he's had to.
And he's handled it well.
He has.
But it is a lot.
Like, I don't know how I feel about that for the rest of the year. This is going to be the problem. You've got four really, really good players, and then you're piecemealing the rest of it, and that was part of what you knew you were going to have to do when you gave up a lot of your depth at the deadline.
Yeah, but look, if those are your four starters, and we need to figure out the fifth spot, I don't think Torrey Craig is. You could obviously do better if you're looking at how good those other four are by comparison. But I think he's a decent. He's probably my option to start if I'm Monty, at least until Josh Okogie proves that this offense that he's strung together the last few games can last. He did play really well with the starting group, but Craig has done a really nice job this season. He's a guy that Monty has leaned on with Cam Johnson out. And I think if you have those other four guys, you can get by with Craig being a cutter and a slasher. Defenses are going to try to make Torrey Craig beat them in the playoffs for sure. But if he's the energy guy, if he's getting offensive rebounds, if he's cutting and doing those kind of things, and if he continues to shoot the three ball at the clip he has this year, he can make an impact. He's not going to beat teams, but they're going to have such a hard time taking away those other four options. You can't limit all four.
Yeah, I don't think that he's not capable. I'm just concerned with the mileage that's already been put on him.
Yeah,
that he's just going to hit a wall here. I mean, he already has started to kind of hit that. So how much more does he have to give? I mean, I think he averaged like 15 minutes a game in his career, and he's putting in massive nightly numbers here. So.
It as a starter, maybe, yeah, but he's still only averaging less than 26 minutes a game this season. So, like, it's not like Mikal Bridges' workload.
No, and I don't think you're going to expect anybody to come in and play.
I mean, other than
42.
Other than
Maybe
Mikal, no one in the NBA can.
No. So, look, we're splitting hairs. You're talking about the fifth guy in a starting lineup that includes CP3, Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, and Deandre Ayton. So you and I could probably go out there and they'd still be favored on most nights.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
I don't know, but listen, I know that it's a quote unquote problem when you get rid of two of the guys in your starting unit. But I do think it's a good problem to have as far as at least we have options still. There are no Mikal Bridges, no Cam Johnson. We get that. But you have multiple options of guys who can be really solid players in that fifth spot on the starting roster. So I feel like we're okay. We're going to be fine.
Yeah, I think they're definitely going to be fine. And they have multiple options that they can try there is the point. So I'm sure they'll figure out what the right fit is and go out there. And that's, look, they have the ability to experiment a little bit when you've got those other four guys. You can take chances in messing with that throughout the rest of the regular season to figure it out to make sure you got it right by the playoffs, because the other four are going to hide a lot of blemishes.
Yeah. Okay, so Golden Boy in the chat said Eddie Johnson just now on if Craig or Okogie get to be that fifth starter. I don't know where this was. I'm assuming maybe on the broadcast.
Probably.
But he said they're going to be playing by themselves. Their man is going to be off somewhere else guarding someone else, and they are going to be all alone, ... I wish I could have played like that.
Eddie, you still can. If you came back,
Come on, Eddie, you could be the fifth guy.
starter.
There you go.
Just sit in the corner and hit the damn three.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Listen, I'm actually, speaking of Eddie Johnson, very excited to have him on his next podcast here with Saul. I'm excited to see his thoughts on all of this and get his true, unfiltered, if you will, kind of take around all of this, because that's going to be fantastic. So stay tuned. Keep an eye out for that next show with Saul Bookman and Eddie Johnson coming. Thursday? This upcoming Thursday?
I believe it is.
Yeah, this upcoming Thursday. So I'm really excited for that. All right, we do have 2 super chats, both from Han. Thank you so much, Han. The first one said, DeAndre's nickname should be, quote, third try. And then he followed up and said, sorry, still rolling 4 peaks since Durant trade. Can't get hung over if you don't stop.
That is true, Han. That's why I haven't stopped working all week.
Yeah, that was Gerald. He told us that right before the show started. He said, listen, if I don't stop working, I can't get exhausted and have a mental breakdown and just completely crash out.
Yep.
So he's not going to stop working until
we are rolling through the
hour.
weekend. No, I'm going all weekend.
Oh, you're going all weekend?
What? We got a lot to write about, guys.
Wow,
got a lot to go here still.
Gerald's just going to make it to the All-Star break and then crash.
Yeah, you will not hear from me for those
3 days straight.
Unless Damian Lee gets in there and wins the 3-point contest, then we'll have to.
We
might have to circle back.
They're not going to give him the spot.
I mean, yeah, 4 of them are already out today. I don't know if you saw that because
yeah, it's all big names. Look, they're not going to put him in.
They should.
They should have put Cam in last year too. They're not going to put him in.
But now the Suns have Kevin Durant, so they're relevant to everyone now, not just us.
They were relevant last year as the #1 team in the West, and they still got.
But it always takes 1 year for the national media to catch up to the narrative.
Nope. If Book were healthy, they'd put Book in it. Like
they think Book is the only player that can shoot threes out here still, I think.
Well,
he's 3rd in 3-point percentage now. He no longer has the designation of being the NBA leader. That hurts him.
They'll put the other 2 guys in ahead of him in. And
exactly. My bad. Sorry. Had to be top 2.
Yeah.
Had to be top 2. There was something else in here. Oh, Haydot said, is Saul no longer with you guys? No, we fired him.
Saul's time here has come to an end, unfortunately.
Straight faced.
I'm kidding. Saul's been doing Super Bowl stuff. We've had all of our sister companies, DNVR and CHGO, in town. Saul's been helping on that front, but he will be back next week.
Yes.
Don't you all worry. We promise. All right. Shall we name our DraftKings King of the Game?
See.
Tonight, our DraftKings King of the Game goes to DeAndre and 22 points for number 22. In addition to that, he also had 12 rebounds and he was a plus 23 in this game. 4 of 4 from the charity stripe as well.
Last night, he had the 2 rebounds for the Twins. Tonight, he had 11, but if you add 1 and 1, that's 2. And he was a plus 23 in honor of Cam Johnson. Look at that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
He had 12 rebounds. But the rebounds. No, listen, I got you. He had 12 rebounds, 1 and 2, because those are the numbers that Mikal and Cam are wearing in Brooklyn.
And
look at DeAndre. He's so sentimental. He did this on purpose. Wow.
Love
this guy. I'm very impressed.
DeAndre Ayton's amazing. But you're wrong. He had 11.
My ESPN app says 12.
I was about to say,
I'm on ESPN right now.
I'm on ESPN and this is 11.
Okay,
so,
well,
thank you.
My tinfoil hat's better than yours.
They took one away then, I suppose, because I did
23.
refresh it and it went back to 11. But to be fair, Gerald can attest to this. My ESPN box score has been garbage today because when we were looking at points in the paint, it said that the Pacers only had 16 on mine. Remember?
Yeah, ESPN was all over the place today.
That's my bad. Oh, well.
Yeah, well.
Shit happens.
But you know what also happens? DA winning king of the game. Mm-hmm. DraftKings king of the game. So use that promo code PHNX when you sign up for DraftKings.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to help you out here. Just trying to get you back there.
I mean, he's not wrong. PHNX, when you sign up on the DraftKings Sportsbook app, is the best code to use because new customers who use that code and bet $5 on the NBA, you're going to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Again, that is only at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA with code PHNX. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. All right. our picks on the DraftKings Sportsbook app
Can
tonight.
we just skip it?
I would love to.
No? Okay.
I'm glad that at least Saul isn't here because Saul's the only one that actually won his bet tonight. And it was some nice odds. So Saul took Book for the first field goal at a plus 360, which means he has moved up a little bit when it comes to the leaderboard. Well, I guess technically he hasn't moved up. He's gotten closer.
He's still in third.
He is still in third, and I'm still at the top of the leaderboard. Let's take a look at these numbers. Maybe.
I think you're at 154. I'm at 130.
No, I think I'm at 170 something.
Okay.
I'm almost positive I had 184 coming into the night.
We're just making this up right now.
Yeah, I got it.
Here we
So at least I can tell you what mine and yours are. Mine is 184 or 174. Yours is 154, and Saul's at 114 now.
You're still behind us, Bookman. Ha!
I mean, yeah, but still, it's just such a bummer that he's even like remotely close. He was in the red like 3 games ago.
So I had like $30, like at the beginning of the week. So
I'm curious, Linz, now that they're kind of catching up on you with some of these bets that they've hit, do you change your strategy or do you keep chugging along? I don't know if Espo's going to keep hitting first basket bets like he has been recently.
I know.
I took a different swing tonight, and it was dumb.
Your swing was aggressive
but
tonight.
I had almost taken the fourth, and I had nobody would score more than 25 points in the third quarter, and I lost miserably. But I almost took the fourth, and they had 22 and 27, so that would have been at least interesting. But don't worry, I will be back on Tuesday with a win.
Yeah.
I
don't know. I don't know if it's just this week and then all the moving parts of last night and tonight's game that I didn't really know who I would put my money on, because I've been riding Mikal for a little while too.
Mm-hmm.
He was winning me a whole bunch of money there for a minute. So I think I just need to figure out exactly what my game plan moving forward looks like. See if I can get some decent numbers here soon.
Much like the Suns in general.
Yeah, exactly.
Just got to figure out what the game plan looks like. Yeah.
You know, one thing I'm absolutely sure of? I'm absolutely sure that you need to get your hands on our brand new Slim Valley Reaper t-shirt.
Yeah.
That's right. We dropped a brand new t-shirt this week in honor of one very large big trade that the Suns made. If you would like to get your hands on the Slim Valley Reaper t-shirt, go to phnxlocker.com right now to pick yours up. Also, you guys, our next watch party, it's officially on the books. March 16th, you can come watch Book and Katie take on the Magic, hang out with all of us for pregame activities. Plus, every single ticket purchased will receive a complimentary PHNX pocket tee. You can buy your tickets through the link in the description. Diehards, which by the way, if you're not a diehard, you do get 20% off all events and merch and a free t-shirt upon signing up. You guys can check the Discord or the Diehard website for 20% off your tickets to the watch party on March 16th. Or actually, it's a takeover. My bad. We're actually going,
we're going to the game.
Not a watch party. We're going to the game.
Well,
it's
we'll
going to be
watching too. So
I mean, yeah, we'll be the watch party at the arena.
Kevin,
basically.
We'll get to see NBA royalty in person. Kevin Durant playing for your Phoenix Suns, which still is a very weird thing to say.
It is.
And I can almost guarantee you're not going to be able to get into a Suns game for as cheap as you will.
Oh, no,
not anymore.
No, with Kevin Durant now here, that was the first thing outside of the initial reaction, sadness around Mikal and Cam leaving. The third thing that everyone's mind went to was, oh my God, ticket prices.
Yep. Here they go.
You know where you should go, though, if you're really worried about that. I don't know if we have them on the list today, but game time. Game time, you can go there. Use the link in our description. Get 60%, up to 60% off.
That is true. All right, so come hang out with us and get your shirt as well. Lots of cool things. Everyone in the chat is telling me to stop mentioning Mikal Bridges because it still hurts.
It's about to hurt a little bit more.
Sorry, everybody, but we got to talk about Mikal Bridges because Devin Booker talked about Mikal Bridges. And what he said is what all of us are kind of hoping for. Let's go ahead and listen to it.
It's tough, man. You know, that was the spirit of our team with, you know, having those twins. I think the only good part of it is that they're still together and they have each other to lean on. But, you know, they'll be very well missed here in the Valley, as everybody knows. But friends and brothers for life. We'll stay in contact forever, and, you know, we'll see what they're doing in, 2026?
2026 cannot get here fast enough.
I love that he's apparently Cam's agent and already got him an extension. So
I mean, it's coming, but I also do love that he just happens to know the exact year on that, just right off the top of his head. Look, like when you're talking about two fan favorites like that, I don't know about both of them, but like
no,
Mikal,
both of them. Speak it into existence.
I would love
Gerald.
to see it, but it's hard to get two guys that are probably going to be making good money by then back on the types of deals they'll be playing on.
Look.
But I would love to see it, and I'm sure the Valley would, and I'm sure Mikal would too, because the bond here was the type of thing, like I think they both established themselves as players that in the future, Phoenix will absolutely have them on their radar.
Look, at that point, the Suns are going to be printing money for Matt Ishbia. There'll be 4 championships in. Why not? I mean, you'll have, at that point, just go way over the luxury tax in 2026 and bring them all back.
Yeah.
Well, Chris Paul will be off the books.
He will.
Chris Paul's going to be playing by then. We'll have figured out some extra secret sauce. He'll have 4 titles. It's just
he'll have some new diet that's even more extreme than vegan, and he'll be chugging
Katie's
along.
4 years, right? Or 3?
Katie's 3 years after this one.
Yeah. So roughly reaching. I mean, listen, it's not outside of the realm of possibility.
Absolutely not.
It's really not.
Yeah, and you could tell with the way that they bid goodbye to Phoenix that they would be happy to be back here, I think, in the future.
I think they would be. I think they would come back in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
You notice he didn't say, hey, I'll be looking for Jay in 2023, 24.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little bit different, right? Like Jay did some really amazing things for this team. He was a part of big moments like you talked about. But there's a difference between like your homegrown guys who've been here their whole entire careers. Like they invested in us in the same way we invested in them.
It was a joke, Lindsay. We didn't have to give Jay his flowers. It's all right.
I'm just, I'm so glad I'm not going to see the two of you for the next 2 days.
What did I
y'all
do?
Been so sassy.
I was just sitting here taking crossfire.
On the show.
On the show.
Gerald's been really mean to me today, you guys.
That is not even remotely true.
And Sean was really mean to me yesterday. Now Espo's starting to
Like you are mean to everybody else all the time.
If I keep performing like this, I'm gonna wind up in Brooklyn soon.
It's fine.
I only kid. Okay, but for real though, this would be a fantastic situation. Like I'm so down to find a way to bring Mikal and Cam back into the fold a couple years from now. You know, maybe we win a few championships in the meantime, and then they come back and they lead us to additional championships right after.
I hope that they win it this year, obviously, but like for the effect of being able to give Mikal and Cam and Dario a ring for what they put into this season and the past few seasons, because I don't think you would be in this position, especially without Cam and Mikal, but even without Dario. Like they were instrumental in helping this team become winners and build the right culture and just bond the right way in the locker room too. So that would be really cool.
You just added an extra reason I want the Suns to win a championship because they can give everybody but Jay Crowder a ring. Let's do it, Phoenix.
Okay, but remember when we did have Jay on and didn't Saul ask him if he accepted the ring from the Bucks year? And he said he didn't. So I would assume Jay wouldn't accept this ring regardless.
But he said it was because they beat him. So
regardless, I feel like with all the shenanigans that went down, I don't think Jay would accept this.
Well, that wasn't Jay. That was Tori.
Oh, yeah, that was Tori.
That's right. My bad.
Oh, my
Tori. God. Now that Jay's at the Bucks, I'm thinking Bucks Jay.
That
was Tori Craig. You're right. Sorry.
If they offer me one, though, I will be taking it. I don't know why they would, but I will take it if they offer me one.
Free ring, sure.
But I do think it would feel different here, right? With Cam and Mikal and Dario, because they've been here for the whole time, and Dario for quite a while as well.
Yeah.
And they also did help us reach certain levels, but all three of them helped us sustain through a bunch of injuries. So I don't know. I think I would hope they would accept the ring. I would hope they
so.
would.
Do we want to
Kev?
twist the stake a little bit more here?
Sure.
You don't know where I'm going with that?
No, I know where you're going. Yeah, I think we should.
Yeah, so obviously today was a tough day for anybody who was on Instagram and trying to avoid thinking about Mikal and Cam Johnson. Mikal Bridges posted his emotional goodbye on Instagram, said, "Man, I don't even know where to start. Just want to thank Phoenix and especially the Suns for everything. Brought a kid who is pissed off getting traded from his hometown team to finding a new home and never wanting to leave. To my friends I met out there, so happy I met all of y'all. I would have never had this much fun if it wasn't for you guys, but you know life goes on, so I'm going to catch y'all this summer. To the fans who stuck by me from that damn hitch in my shot, and to even me struggling in the playoffs, y'all the best ever. Y'all really made me feel so loved, and when y'all started getting on my ass when I was struggling at times, especially this year, I knew y'all really cared, and that meant more than y'all would ever know. To the staff, coaches, and everyone that works at the facility arena, I love y'all so much. I'm going to miss y'all the most. Y'all just let me be myself and made my day every time I came to work. I appreciate and I'm going to miss the hell out of all y'all. And to my teammates, my MF brothers, my damn dogs for real, I'm off all y'all for real. Y'all the ops now, so don't hit my line, especially y'all, Bismack Biombo and Campaign and ACP3. Make sure you send my gift, bro. I play soon. Love y'all MFs, man. And yeah, Deandre Ayton and D-Book. I'm from Texas. You see these y'all's in this paragraph. On to Brooklyn. P.S. I got my twin with me too, so it's up.
I want to know what CP3 has to send him. What's
Some
the
sort of a
gift he's
gift.
talking about? Like,
You better post it, Mikal. We want to know what gift it is. I loved that because it was the perfect Mikal post, right? It's sentimental, it's meaningful, but he's also going to put a few jabs in there and make some jokes.
Right. It was a love letter to his teammates and also like honestly to an honest one to the city of Phoenix because he mentioned everything from the hitch in his shot to that month-long struggle when everyone was on his case to struggling in the playoffs. Like he's very aware of the things that have been said about him, but the love between him and the fans is still so real that he didn't care and used it as motivation. I thought that was really cool and just very transparent of him.
yeah, Durantula in the chat says, this Mikal's PR team.
No.
Yeah, that reads like a PR team.
Do you know how many times I had to say y'all in the middle of that? That was not his PR
Some
team.
dirty white guy sitting there going, what cadence would Mikal Bridges say this?
Which emoji should we put here?
How many times can we use MF in this before it becomes too much?
Yeah, and Bridges wasn't the only one. If you haven't been on IG recently, we did get a Cam Johnson tribute here.
What'd he say?
Just actually during the show, he said, "My feelings over the past few days have been hard to put into words. Everything happens for a reason, all part of his plan. I am beyond grateful. Grateful to the city and organization that made a dream come true, to the people who supported us every step of the way, my coaches, teammates, family, and friends. My time in Phoenix was special, and the city and people will remain near and dear to my heart. So an enormous thank you, Suns, and all those who made and will continue to make it go top to bottom. I love you all and wish I could tell you one by one. Brooklyn, I'm excited for this new adventure. Let's hoop. P.S. Twins remain locked in."
That could be a PR team. I don't know.
No, that's also very Cam Johnson.
Yeah, that's Cam through and through. But two stand-up individuals, two incredible basketball players, two Suns for life. 2026, we will see you soon. Hopefully we'll win some titles in between now and then, but it would be awesome to see one or both of those guys back in the future.
100%.
Hey, did I ever tell you guys my championship ring story?
No.
So I worked for the Tucson Sidewinders. They won the PCL championship and the AAA championship. And they're like, hey, you get a ring. You've done a lot of free work for us. You get a ring. I get fitted. Never got the call. To this day, it kills me.
Damn.
I still have dreams about it where I'm like, oh, that's still going to come. And nothing.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
So
brutal.
They just like sleazy boyfriended you.
Oh,
They
like,
really
like,
did.
let's go try you out for
Get
rings.
fitted. And then
Nothing
they ghosted
happened.
me.
Ouch, that's brutal. All right, T Bounty, thank you for your super chat. Apologies again for missing yours in the pregame show. But T Bounty said, consider PHNX crew plants the thought to joke that if Suns win it all, Mikal and Cam get invited by teammates to the Phoenix parade to celebrate with us.
He also corrected himself in the chat. He meant Jock. instead of
Oh,
jock. Plant the
jock. Okay.
Oh,
plant
yeah,
the idea
jock.
of the
Oh,
joke.
that makes
Jock.
way more
Yes,
sense.
plant the-
Yep.
we can plant that thought.
Okay, let me read it again.
Yes.
Consider PHNX crew. If you plant the thought to Jock that if the Suns win it all, Mikal and Cam get invited by teammates to the Phoenix Parade to celebrate with us.
No, screw that. I'm planting the idea in Jock's head that he takes me to the
Oh
championship
my
parade
God.
with him.
Someone get this guy his Sidewinders championship ring.
No, honestly, this is the kind of group, and those are the kind of guys that they just might do it.
Oh, yeah.
I think so.
You
I
know?
think they would come out just to be with them without the invite, honestly.
I could see them coming to a finals game if they weren't in the
Mhm.
finals
I agree.
and supporting their guys.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Honestly, would any fan in this city, if they did come back, if we were to win a championship and did the actual parade with the team, would anybody bat an eye
Not in
whatsoever?
the
Hell
city,
no,
but in
no.
Brooklyn, they'd be like, "What the hell are these guys doing?"
Well, then they don't understand the gems that they got in Mikal and
Well,
Cam.
they don't, and they won't appreciate them the way we did.
Do you think they
No.
would really be upset about
Yes,
I don't know why they would. That'd be weird.
these guys now are the ones you're chasing. You're gonna go celebrate with them that they won a title.
that? I mean, I could totally see that,
I'm-
to be honest.
I mean,
don't
it's
know.
You're not
internet
wrong.
trolls that would be doing it, but that's you know that would come up. Especially it may be Brooklyn, but it's still a New York fan base, so it's
That's
a very
true.
much different mentality.
True.
You know?
If they came to Phoenix around the parade, though, and hung out with their former teammates, like after the actual parade, I don't think it would be as bad. But being a part of the parade, you're right, it probably would be received very poorly across the rest
Which
of the
is
NBA.
dumb because they helped build this thing. They've
Agreed.
been here their
but
entire careers, and they spent more than half the season here as opposed to there. So, I don't know.
Boo Boo's brother says Mikal and Cam about to get some serious exposure back there and gain a ton of fans. I do love that for
Mhm.
them.
Yeah.
Obviously, being in New York is a huge market.
Mhm.
They're going to get exposed to quite a few new faces, and hopefully media members will give them a little more love. Maybe Cam will make a 3-point contest at an All-Star game now.
Shit.
Maybe.
He better.
Maybe.
He deserves it.
We'll find out.
Watch, Mikhail will get more love than Book at some point. They'll just be like, "This is the next star," you know, like just because it's New York.
Musab said, I'm getting uncomfortable with all this parade talk. LOL, gotta win first. 100%. Let us live in fantasy land for like 5 more minutes. We promise at some point in time next week, we will move completely forward from
We're-
all of this. But
we're-
just give us some time.
We're delirious as shit, and we're
Yeah.
trying to feel better about losing 2 guys that were instrumental in all of this.
Yeah.
Hold on,
Obviously, we're excited about Kevin Durant, but we haven't got to see him play yet.
Yeah, let me help. We got Kevin Durant. All
Let's
right.
go. We're really excited for real though.
yeah.
But
I think
we
that just
also-
drained the rest of my energy. For
It's all
it's gone.
Battery's empty.
But we also really enjoy living in fantasy land, let's be honest, especially underdog fantasy land. It's so much fun. They do daily fantasy sports differently. The Pick'ems game is my favorite because it's so simple and you can hop in anytime you want. You just literally pick higher or lower, and the more legs you add, the more money you can win. And right now, Underdog Fantasy has 2 Super Bowl boosters. So make sure you guys check those out before Sunday's big game. You can win 20 times to 30 times your money if you get all 5 of your pick'ems correct. So make sure you check it out. They also want to give you a free $100 to use on the app. It's really simple. Just go to underdogfantasy.com or download the app. Sign up with that promo code PHNX, and Underdog will match your first deposit up to $100. It's going to be the best way to enjoy Super Bowl Sunday, is to have a little money on the game, heighten the experience a little more. If you have learned anything from us here, it is that putting a little bit of money on the game in whatever way you want to play on the Underdog Fantasy app, it's going to make it a lot more fun.
Lindsay, do you know what my wife always says to me?
What?
The best things are made in Chicago.
I mean,
And while I think that that's horseshit when it comes to the teams there, when it comes to cornhole,
Mhm.
it's 100% true.
it is 100%
And
true.
we've got these amazing custom cornhole boards from our friends at Chi-Town Custom Cornhole Boards. And they have our friend Phoenix on them.
Mhm.
They've got the PHNX logo on them. They have a light. They've got cup holders. They've got a scoring mechanism on them. They are the fanciest cornhole boards I have ever seen. Well constructed. I love these things. And
You know what I was thinking the other day?
I don't know what you were thinking. What were you?
If
That the
you-
best things are made in Chicago?
Yes,
Okay.
but also if you had a wedding this year and whoever's wedding it is a sports fan
Mhm.
or enjoys entertaining, this would make a fantastic wedding gift.
Lindsay, if I had a wedding this year, I'd have to move to Utah. Anyways, yes, no, they would make a fantastic wedding gift, a birthday gift, a Christmas gift, a divorce gift if
Yo,
that's where you're headed.
If you had another wedding this year, you'd have to have that SL, UT shirt that they have at the All-Star
Yes, we would. This has got.
You can check them out on Instagram at Chi-Town Custom Cornhole Boards or their website, ChiTownCornhole.com. Low-key, though, can we talk about that?
Do we have the
That
shirt?
big NBA merch thing that literally was SLUT?
Yes, it's so funny.
It is.
Okay.
I don't know
I
if
know
I
you
had-
guys
let
have
me-
seen it. If you've been on the internet today, you had to have seen
And
it.
it's this knockoff janky All-Star Game shirt, and
Okay.
it's trying to say Salt Lake, Utah.
Yep.
But do they actually abbreviate Salt
No,
Lake
I think
as
it's
LT?
SLC, isn't it? Yeah, Salt Lake City.
So whoever made this knew what they were
They
doing.
knew exactly
But
what they were
it's
doing.
SL, UT.
It doesn't
And it's
make sense.
so
Oh,
good.
it
It's
makes
so-
so
It
much
is
sense.
So
Like
good.
The Jazz have the worst uniforms in the league. So if I were
Yeah.
the Jazz, this is what my alternate city uniform would say next year. I would just totally go to this and commit to this as my. I mean, we've already got Charlotte with CLT on their jersey.
Oh my God.
Why not go
Lean
with
all the
SL,
way in.
comma
Yo.
UT?
Lean all the way
They can
in.
play each other. It'll be amazing.
Oh, I regret that the Hornets don't have a single All-Star because that would be the greatest combo.
The CLT and the SLUT, baby.
Oh
Get
my-
excited. If
Holy
anybody
shit.
goes to Utah and sees one of those shirts, please pick us up one. We
Oh
will
my
put it in the
God,
studio.
yes.
I'll put it in one of these
No, but
backgrounds.
for
Yeah.
real, if one of you are going to Utah for the All-Star game and you see these knockoff ones,
Bring us back.
my
some.
God.
You know what? I love it so much. Maybe I'll have that put on a Chi-Town custom cornhole
You should.
board because
That'd be
that is
so
just funny.
Oh my
I saw
God.
that today and about fell out of my desk chair.
I'm looking for a black one and do like a double X so I can be like oversized.
Mm.
For real. I'm being dead serious. I'll pay you extra if you bring me home one of those.
We should all wear them on the show.
Okay.
How is
you
this not a Roman
guys,
read?
Calm down.
If you're looking for an SLUT in a black extra large,
Oh my
use
God.
Roman.
Oh my God. This is the way we're ending the week.
Time that we should about say goodbye. Let me just remind all of our friends watching out there. Normally, we're not this chaotic. It's just the end of a very, very long week, and we are all exhausted.
Oh my God.
But the fun does not have to end, even though this show desperately has to end. Octane Raceway and Maverick are the place where you can go to watch the big game. With dozens of 4K televisions, 20-foot Jumbotron, 5,000 square foot restaurant featuring a chef curated menu, craft beers, and custom cocktails. Enjoy the Super Bowl experience at Mavericks. Book in advance at mavericks.com/thebig-game. Thank you all for joining
Okay,
us.
hold on. Because Espo is literally crying tears. Sean dropped his headset and rolled away from his chair cackling like the Joker.
My eyes hurt so much.
My face is the same color as our PHNX graphic down here. And Lindsay somehow powered through all of that to finish the ad read. What a pro.
Somebody had to get us out
What
of
a
here.
pro. Oh my God.
Listen, we love you guys dearly. Thank you for putting up with us through the end of this show.
Holy
We
shit.
promise to be better next week.
I can't promise it anymore. This week broke me.
Oh my
This week
God.
broke me.
Holy
And until we see you next week, you can follow the show on Twitter at PHNX _Suns. You can follow me at Lindsay Smith AZ. You can follow Gerald at Gerald Borge. And of course, you can follow Espo at Espo. I'm going to say goodbye because Espo cannot take us home. Later, everybody.
Hey yo, my lifestyle is retro. Tell the Phoenix Metro. Megas in control and he ain't never gonna let go. PHNX though, Lindsey, Gerald, Espo. Saw past the ball, we here to turn up the tempo. Got to understand me, I'll always rep the family. Rally in the valley like Dan G, no plan B. Always on the job, my team move like the mob. Turn the beat on, I throw it down like DA on the live. Best combo since KJ, Marley, and Charles. If you squad, just sitting on the chat, get involved. Rhymes say it's got flavor. Known